What it do, my savages, my family, my gang. So, as you guys can tell by the title of today's video, I'll be telling you guys the reason why I failed my lifeguard training course. And yes, I am retrying, and I'm just going to give you guys some tips, some tricks. If you do want to join it, you will know things to look out for, and you will be prepared, because this is the type of training course where you don't want to be unprepared, because if you're unprepared, then you're going to fail. So if you guys want to see, make sure you guys give a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into this video. So I had my training course, I think like June 17th to June 20th. It's a 3-day process. So this is the last time I had to talk about it, because you know, I didn't talk about this to so many people because they had asked me how my training course went, and I had to tell them that I failed. So I came down there Friday. I drove an hour away to go to the training course because it was the only available place that I could go to that was the closest to my house. So I went there. The first day is the pre-test, 300 meters / 12 laps, and then it's the treading water for 2 minutes without using your arms, and then it's 3 the diving break test, 10-pound break. Okay, so this 12 laps was too bad. You just get out of breath. All instructors like different. Some make you do 6, some make you do 12. It depends. But for treading water for 2 minutes, that was pretty light. It wasn't too hard, but I definitely recommend before you start the training course that you practice a week or 2 prior to get yourself together, because if you know nothing about treading water without using your arms, then I would definitely go to your local pool or YMCA, whatever the case may be. The diving break test, the 10-pound break test, that was pretty hard. I ain't gonna hold you, I rate that 8 out of 10, pretty hard. I struggled a little bit when it came down to diving to get the break test. Like, I had butterfingers, like the brick I kept holding, it kept like sliding off. So I finally got it, and you have to do it in a matter of time. I forgot how many minutes you had to get it done, and I forgot. But once you get the break, you have to swim all the way backwards from where you started from. So I was taught on YouTube and stuff like that when I looked it up on the internet. And sorry for the background noise.
2,000 years later.
So I was taught on YouTube and like Safari, like to have the brick, the 10-pound brick on your chest, and you had to have it like in the surface. It can't really like touch the water. Well, I shouldn't have did that, because the instructor said that we can place it on our hip, that brick, we can place it on our chest. I should have did the hip, because y'all, I placed it on my chest. As soon as I started swimming backwards, like the brick kept pulling my body down. I'm like, am I going to pass this test? Because it kept pulling my body down, and I kept feeling my head like go into the water, because it was literally like bringing me down, and I kept like swallowing water. It was horrible. So if you guys are going to do it the hip way if your instructor allows that, instead of the chest way, because it's only the chest way. It's a great possibility that someone like me, if you're like me, it's probably gonna bring you down. Okay, so that's that. I thought that once I get through the pre-test that, you know, it was kind of like a guarantee that I would get through the rest of the 2 days. Wrong. Because I did a lot of my research and stuff like that and practice when it came down to the pre-test to the beginning, because that's all I was focused on was, you know, pass to the pre-test, which I should have been focused on passing the final test as well, because I didn't look much into that. So I was very unaware on what was going to happen. So like I said, first day wasn't too bad. Second day, that's when it was getting a little hard. The second day, you know, we watched a couple videos, Lifeguard, American Red Cross Lifeguard videos, and then we went to the pool around like 10 o'clock. We had to get out the pool about 12 because we was at an apartment complex, and that's the time that their pool opened. So yes, everything was rushed. We had to get out the pool in a matter of time. we had to be in the pool and learn like different methods to like practice people that are drowning, like different ways that people are drowning, like conscious, unconscious, and stuff like that. So I had a girl partner, Kay. We're gonna call her Kay. And I'm so sorry guys, I forgot to mention that Kay is gonna play an important part in the story because Kay came with the instructor. Kay was a family friend of the instructor. The instructor knew Kay's mom. Kay in the beginning told me that the instructor said to Kay that, you know, even if you do bad, I'm going to pass you. And this is not a type of test where, you know, you show favoritism because, you know, somebody's life is going to be in your hands and you need to know on how to rescue them and, you know, get them back to health, good health. So I was like, wow, that's kind of unfair. So like I said, the second day, Kay was my partner. You know, I had to do different techniques with Kay, whatever. And when I was doing those techniques, yo, like you have to like flip the person over. Like you just have to do like a bunch of stuff when it comes down to like getting a person up. And I tell you, Kay is heavy. Kay is heavy. And if you see this girl, you shouldn't have put all that weight on me. And I told her, girl, you shouldn't put all that weight on me. I'm lightweight. You shouldn't have put all that weight on me. Like you were crushing me. And when it was her turn to play maid, because I acted like the victim, we would take turns. You know, she would say I was light and I was easy. Yes, sis. You should have took some of that weight off of me because you were too heavy. So second day was pretty cool. It was a lot of information when it came down to lifeguard information, and she like rushed. Like I feel like the instructor rushed us with the information. It's a lot of information when it comes down to being a lifeguard, and you know, her giving us the information, she rushed it a lot. It wasn't a lot of time that she was able to give us all that information. The amount of information that, you know, she was given should not have been consumed in 3 days. No. When it says lifeguard, you're saving a person. So how to turn all that into saving a person in 3 days? Because as a doctor, it doesn't take 3 days to get certified to get your degree. So why does it take 3 days to get certified to be a lifeguard and you're saving someone's life? That doesn't even make sense. Like I said, the amount of information that the lady was given that it takes to be a lifeguard should not be a 3-day process at all, because it was a lot of information, and I feel like she was like stuffing that information down my throat. Like it was just a lot of information to take. So the second day, once we were about to leave, she said that tomorrow we would have the test. Just study a bunch of quizzes online, look up lifeguard tests, American lifeguard tests online, and you should see it. She didn't even give us a direct watch or anything. You don't have a proper study guide at all. I should say, I don't like the way the system moved, like especially the company. Maybe it has nothing to do with American Red Cross, but especially the company on how they move and how they talk was not okay at all. I tried to study all night when it came down to the second day, but you know, I had other things to do, so I was only able to study for about 40 minutes to an hour at the most. So the third day, second day, I was really unsure too, because like, how was I supposed to know all this information and be prepared in just a matter of time and be ready for tomorrow and know all this information? Like, just know, like the information, I feel like it was thrown at me. So the third day, instructor taught us how to put a person on the backboard. It's a 3-person process. So I was with a group. So I was with Kay, the girl, and I was with this boy named M. We're just gonna call him M. So we were taking turns like doing primary, secondary, victim, and things like that. That was pretty cool. But here it came to practice to be the lifeguard and save somebody submerged and bring them up to the surface and put them on the backboard and stuff like that and do CPR. So we literally only had like 20 minutes, probably less than that, to practice. So we would have to like switch roles. But the role that she would test us on was the lifeguard role, and I was only able to play the lifeguard role one time. I was constantly playing the victim because I was lightweight. It constantly had me play the victim versus white people. It was time for me to take my test, right? Well, it was time for me to take my water test. I did whistle. I went down in the water am up, they're played as the victim. My burn come up, and I swim backwards. Put him on the backboard, got him on the surface, got my gloves. I was struggling to put on my gloves because you had to dip the gloves underwater. I was struggling, y'all, to put on gloves. Like I always struggle to put on gloves, y'all. Don't ask me why. I should have practiced on how to do that, but I wasn't even thinking about it. So once I got my gloves on, I started doing CPR on the dummy. Once I finished CPR on the dummy, the instructor came to me and she was like, "You fell out loud while other people can hear." Very embarrassing. She knew what she was doing. She said that, you know, I didn't have the what do you call it, the victim hands up like this against her head, and I think she said that I didn't bring the rescue tube in between me and him, like I didn't let the rescue tube go or something, she said. So that was that. And then she said also she can't pass me for the CPR reason because I wasn't on the side of the victim, I was in front of the victim. So now it was Kay's turn, right? It was Kay's turn. Kay has about 2 to 3 tries. Kay does the same thing I do. So I was like, okay, well, there's no way she can pass because she did the same thing I did. No, y'all. So Kay does CPR, right? Kay is not on the side of the victim. She's in front of the victim the same way I was. Kay finishes. The instructor says to her, "Congratulations. Let me send a picture to your mom." If that ain't white privilege, what is it? But y'all ain't gotta work for y'all's, right? My black people, we gotta go 10 times harder, right? So white privilege is not real. Okay. So y'all, I was hot, y'all. I immediately ooh, that's my deodorant. I use this brown deodorant on my ass. Well, I was hot as fish grease, y'all. So I needed to come my mom. I got dressed and, you know, I was crying or whatever. I let that instructor get to me. I was crying because I was like, that's so unfair. Like, she did the same thing I did. If I fell, why didn't she fail? So I had to stay there like an extra 2-3 hours, watch a bunch of videos, and then I had to do the in-written test. The girl passed the in-written test too. She brags to me how she says, "Baby, you probably failed that thing, but because she said you would automatically pass, she said you passed, sweetie." So the lady said I failed the test. I got a couple questions wrong out of 40. So she said I failed, and she was like, I could go at a different location, y'all. It's so much more. But y'all, I'm so tired of, like, you know, explaining this story. Like, it's in the past, y'all. But I didn't speak up for myself and let her know, like, how can she pass? And she did the same thing I did, and I failed. Like, why didn't she fail? Like, she did the same thing I did. Like, I should have spoke up for myself. My grandma wanted to say something, but she didn't. Because I was like, no, it's done. You know, it's done. There's nothing I can really do about it. But, oh yeah, I will be reporting her. Probably by the time I upload this video, I've already reported her. Definitely will be reporting her about what she did. Leaving reviews and everything on that company, because that was crazy. And she told us that she had to go to court a couple times in lawsuit because she passed for people and they were not able to save some victims. So that shows a lot. There's no reason why she'd be an instructor and she's getting charged a lot. No. So I'm gonna go to a different location to retake my test, and I know so much more. I know the exact Quizlet to go to study, and so you can know the exact questions and answers on the test. I will be having that in my description. So if you do want to take that lifeguard training course, keep your head in the game. Make sure you watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Make sure you practice the week 2 prior. Write a bunch of notes down because you're going to need it. It's a lot to process. You basically have to teach your own self, because I don't know what they call them instructors for, because you already have to know what you're doing basically when you get there. You're just there to get certified and take the test, literally, because they're not going to really teach you. You have to teach your own self that. In my opinion. So yeah, y'all, that's it. Also, I forgot to tell you guys that The first day I had came for Friday to do our pre-test. It was another girl who had came to do her final test because the day before that she wasn't able to make it. So I had played it as the victim, and the girl had got me from under the water playing submerged. And the girl grabbed me the same way that I grabbed my victim on Sunday, and she passed her as well. So if it's not racism, then what is it? Thank y'all for watching and from hearing my, my part of the story and what happened to me. And I'm so glad I was able to share this with you guys, because not a lot of people share their lifeguard experience. Not a lot of black people are in the game. It's more of YTs in the game. So I just wanted to, share that experience with y'all. And it's kind of crazy that nobody has really talked about their experience when it comes to the lifeguard, the training course, when, it's been out for eons, years. So yeah, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, also, when I said look up a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that, go check out my man Lifeguard. I'm like, he will give you all the good tips and tricks. Like, he has a whole playlist of just lifeguard and all the things you need to do. So make sure you watch all his videos in order to pass. I'm telling you, and he's very enjoyable to watch. He was the reason why I passed my pre-test. Like, all the things he said, y'all, I was jotting it down. So make sure y'all do that if you're going to be a lifeguard. I definitely recommend doing it. It's easy money. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I want your energy to take control of me. I tried to go to sleep and seen her in my dreams. Just in case I run across to the day, I'ma stay clean. Just in case you